This is the fourth installation of biodegradable spoons. This experiment started when about 21 months ago we were given some spudware at a company function that's rumored to be biodegradable. So I decided to take some of that and put it in some different materials to find out whether or not it actually did biodegrade. I've had some responses on the web that says that you need oxygen and or sunlight in order for them to biodegrade, but that's not what this experiment's about. So I put some of the spudware into just plain water in a almost airtight solution here. I also put it in some ginger ale, which has actually, as you can see, changed rather dramatically in color. I also put it in some bio drain cleaner. This is drain cleaner that has microbes in it, and I put it in a small bit of my compost pile and kept it inside. Probably not really the same as putting it outside in a compost heap, but it still might have some composting that happens there. So this actually, the water here was under pressure a little bit, and actually, as in past episodes, the water gives off quite a smell of sulfur, so somehow this whole process is putting off is off-gassing some kind of a sulfur. And by now you can see that it's actually kind of a grayish color in comparison to what it was originally. And it's very, very pliable, more so than it was 21 months ago. There is a very strong odor in here, and I don't know if you can actually see, but the liquid is quite cloudy. So there's obviously something happening in this water here, something that plastic wouldn't do, normal plastic instead of biodegradable plastic. But it's been almost 2 years, and it looks like it might be another 5 or 6 before anything really happens there. So water probably isn't that most interesting solution. So let's take a look at some ginger ale. This should have a little bit of acid in it. No real dramatic smell. It's not the color of ginger ale. The spoon is even more pliable than the other spoon, I would have to say. I can actually turn it totally inside out. This spoon actually has been discolored from, I think, my getting some of the ginger ale color on there, but let's see if we can't have some idea of the general flexibility. And as you can see, the one that's in the ginger ale is quite a bit more flexible than the test here. So obviously something is happening here, but again, it's probably another several years before this actually biodegrades. The next one is this biological solution, which is designed to help get rid of scum in your drain, so it ought to attack some forms of matter. Has quite a smell of ammonia, actually. The cleaner here, there's no ammonia in it originally, and again, it's very pliable. Sort of the same pliability as the ginger ale was, and quite a bit more pliable than the original. But again, it looks like it might be several years before this actually disappears in any great way. And finally, there's a little bit that we put in part of my compost heap. Doesn't really have much of an aroma at all. It is, however, quite caked with compost, you can see it's quite quite dark and covered in mud, essentially. And actually, if you look at this, this seems to actually be perhaps the most pliable of all the solutions. So something that's been in a little bit of dirt, quite dark in terms of any light getting into it, but maybe a little extra microbial action there is helping to break this down a little bit. So we'll be back again in about 3 months or so, trying to see if any of this has changed anymore. Until then,